Hello world and hello Philippines! It's a new day, it's a new world, and it's a new beginning. This is me, your host, Geraldine Yunting, and welcome to our online talk show. At this juncture, we will borrow your ears and minds because we will gonna talk to you about some of the gender issues that are prominent here in our country, the Philippines. As we all know, gender issues include all aspects and concerns related to women's and men's lives and situation in the society, to the way they interrelate, their differences in access to and use of resources, their activities, and how they react to changes, interventions, and policies. So we are here today to bring you awareness about gender issues and how these issues affect the agents of socialization. But without further ado, please help me welcome our enthusiastic speakers for today. Janelo Quiñones, Galas Linimay, Rubanti Camille, Vicente Janice, Kaliao Giselle, Tisang Jocelyn,
Hi!
and lastly, Ruba
Hi.
James Ariel.
Gender discrimination is one of the gender issues that are prominent in our country here in the Philippines. Gender discrimination, a situation in which people are treated differently simply because they are male or female rather than on the basis of their individual skills and capabilities. It differs because of their gender roles, which ultimately lead to an equal treatment of life. So gender discrimination has a deep impact in a society as a whole. It does not just impact in a specific section of the society, but every part of it.
Moreover, girls and women suffer most of the negative impact of rigid gender norms and roles. They are more likely to experience restrictions of freedom and mobility. They experience epidemic levels of harassment and violence, most specifically here in the Philippines, and women have fewer opportunities to choose how to live their lives. From that sense, gender discrimination affects the agents of socialization, including family, peer group, school, and mass media in a way that a certain gender will become weak and conscious to the environment, most specifically for girls. Some women may suffer mental and emotional instability that will cause them to distance themselves to the public. That is why we have to stop gender discrimination.
Today's video, we will tackle about lack of employment equality. Only 6 countries around the world give the same legal work right as men.
Most economies give women only 3/4 of the legal rights of men. Study shows that if employment became more even in the playing field,
It has a possible effect on other areas prone to gender inequality.
one of the consequences of inequality within employment is the division of jobs. In most society, there's an inherent belief
That men are simply better equipped to handle certain jobs. Most of the time, those are the jobs that pays the best. This discrimination lowers the income of women and less likely to progress in their career.
In addition, there are 4 grounds of discrimination in employment. We have the religious unbelief, disability, age, and the sexual orientation. In sexual orientation, according to statistics, there are 70% in the workplace dominated by men and only 24% by women. Men usually have the powerful position in the workplace than women, resulting in gender discrimination. We need to change this prototype. Working environment should enable men and women to show up differently and to be themselves at work. We should treat equally. We should value the human dignity, freedom, and democracy because that is what we are as Filipinos.
Leadership in women. This gender issue is about the minority of women leaders. This statement comes as no surprise to most of us. What is surprising is that men outpace women in leadership roles across every sector in the world: corporate, non-profit, government, education, medicine, military, and religion. In the last 50 years, professional women have jumped huge hurdles in the corporate world, advancing into top leadership positions even with the odds stacked against them. Nevertheless, persistent barriers regularly delay and obstruct their success.
In addition, society is composed of both men, women, LGBTQ community. Society without discrimination is a reason why people under this institution commit inequality, because all we know that men are only capable for everything. But no, Women nowadays have a power to do what men can do. That includes leadership. But because of discrimination, women cannot do such things, and that made our community become delayed. Because of unfair treatment that will be more easy when both entities help each other.
There are 5 types of domestic violence: emotional, physical, sexual, psychological, and economical abuse. According to domestic violence statistics, overall, 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner. 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men have been victims, and 19% of domestic violence involves a weapon. The victims of domestic violence ends up having fear, anxiety, panic attacks, isolation, and distrust, which can translate into long-life psychological consequences that can manifest as educational difficulties, low self-esteem, depression, trouble forming and maintaining relationships.
Domestic abuse. Domestic abuse is typically manifested as a pattern of abusive behavior towards an intimate partner in a dating or family relationship. Domestic abuse can happen of any gender. It occurs within a range of relationships, including couples who are married. It affects the agent of socialization in the family when the husband abuses her wife or the parents hurt their children.